music you love right here, right now.
It's Friday night. It's 9 p.m. Welcome to the Renegade Rock Hours with Jonathan Edwards and Ritchie Johnston. Now prepare to rock out this Friday night on Smile Radio.
Yes, good evening. It is Friday night here at Smile Radio. Here I am, it's Ritchie J, back again in the Smile Radio desk. Looking outside and it's really frightful weather out there. It is kind of, it's snowing a pelter out there. And yeah, I've just lost my party as well. Damn weather. I'll have to sort that out. But yeah, we're the Renegade Rock Hours. We're here for the next hour and a half. And yeah, we'll kick it off with some music. First up on the list is some Mallen. This one is from the album Polarity. And this is a song called Pull the Trigger. Me and the Game Boys will be back very shortly. This Renegade Rock Hours on Friday night on Smile Radio.
I'm sick of your excuses.
Yes, kicking it off there, first song of the evening was Pull the Trigger by Mallen. Welcome back, it's the Renegade Rock Hours here on Smile Radio. It's Friday night. I'm going to bring the lads in right now, so I'm going to kick it off this evening. Good evening, Jonathan Edwards. How are you this evening?
I'm very good. Happy to be here as always.
Good, good, good. We've also got an on-time James Herrington. How are you this evening, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. Thought I'd grace you with my presence at 9, exactly.
I know. We feel privileged, you know. New year, new jam, right? You know, he's there. He's always there
100%.
And he's always on time. Yeah.
Still girl stealing though.
And then I've got we've got something on that note. I've actually been planning the playlist, and I know I sent you guys the playlist, but I actually slipped a little something extra into there, which is the next song. So, yeah, there's a little tweak in there anyway. But I'm going to come to that in a second, because we've got one more person to bring into the party this evening. We've got, hi, Mark. How are you this evening, military?
Oh, hi,
Mark?
guys.
49.
Yeah. Dark
I'm
Fusion
good.
49 is here with us this evening. Military Mark, how are you? So you had a Domino's this evening, didn't you?
Whoa, there's no Fusion 49.
There is,
you know.
there is only Zool,
Where's my
right?
phone?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so lads, it's the end of the week. It's Friday. We've made it through pretty much another week this week. Has everybody had a good week? We'll start with Johnny. What's your week been saying, bud?
It's just calm, to be honest. Apart from losing my burb.
We're just going to elaborate that Johnny isn't being sexist. He actually has a parrot, and he lost that parrot this week. So yeah. So no joy finding the parrot yet, no.
Nah.
Oh man, well fingers
R.I.P.
crossed.
Birdie.
Yeah, fingers crossed it might fly back home. Jam, your week. Let's get off of a depressing note. How's your week been?
Yeah, mine's been pretty good. Just pretty chilled. Had a week off last week.
I saw some really cutesy photos of you, like all snuggled up with the new lady love of your life. When you was out for your work night out the other night, you look really good, man. You look proper dapper. I thought they were
Thank you.
still shots from Spider-Man, like Far From Home. I thought that was I thought he was dropping some spoilers on us or something. And I was like, oh wait, no, that's Jam. Because he looks a little bit like old Tom Holland. If you had obscure.
No, it was just
Apart
impressing
from
the
his
ladies.
ginger.
Yeah. Apart from he's a
If you
little
want
bit ginger.
pictures of Spider-Man, I can get it for you.
Yeah, you have got a Spider-Man all in one though, haven't you, bud? But we can come back to that subject another time. Instagram businesses and stuff. We'll bring that one up at another point. Because I've got some stories to share on recent feet development with my friend who sells feet photos. So we're going to talk about that this evening. Something crazy. Just to add a bit of banter to the evening. Because I said to you guys this evening, I was like, guys, right, we've got an hour and a half. Let's get some topics together. Or I'm just going to come up with some nasty ass stuff. And here we go. This is what's happened. Nothing's happened, and Ritchie's got to come up with some nasty ass stuff now for the next hour and a half on Smile Radio.
You're allowed to say ass?
Well, it depends in which way I'm using it.
Are they
I could be
anyway?
saying donkey, so I'm going to be like, I'm talking donkey this evening, so I'm playing it safe. Now it is past 9 o'clock, so if you have got fragile ears, probably now's the time to sort of turn away for about an hour and a half, maybe a few hours, because we've got Renegade Rock as well after this with the music that But I'm going to go into the next song of the evening because we've been yakking for a little bit while we just introduced ourselves. This next one up on the list this evening, I'm going to dedicate it to you, Jam. It's a classic. It is a bit of a classic song. It's a rock song, fronted by none other than Matt Damon. See if you can guess the film that it's from as well, because it actually featured in a soundtrack. It's the band Lustra, and it's from the album Left for Dead. Now, all you got to do is listen along to the lyrics of this song. Get in contact with us on Facebook at Smile Radio Yorkshire. Get in contact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Smile Radio 3. Anyway, enjoy this one. I'll tell you what it is after I played it. Right here on the Renegade Rock Hours. It's Smile Radio. It's Friday night, and these guys are ready to party.
Whoop whoop.
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday. She tells him she's in church, but she doesn't go. Still she's on her knees, and Scotty doesn't know. Oh, Scotty doesn't know. So don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Fiona says she's out shopping, but she's under me and I'm not stopping. 'Cause Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know, Scotty doesn't know. So don't tell Scotty, Scotty doesn't know. I can't believe he's so trusting, while I'm right behind you thrusting. top his front lawn in the snow, laughing so hard. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. I did her on his birthday. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty will know. Scotty has to know. Scotty's gonna know. I'm gonna tell Scotty. Gonna tell myself. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to know. Scotty has to. Scotty has to. Scotty has to go. Scotty doesn't know. 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 Scotty doesn't. Scotty doesn't. Scotty doesn't.
If you didn't know, the film was Eurotrip. And yeah, Matt Damon, Lustra. Welcome back, it's the Renegade Rock Hours here on Smile Radio with the guys. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey!
You didn't follow it up with what you said
Hello.
you was going to follow up. We had a little routine
I
lined up
did,
and then...
but you didn't bring us in.
Oh yeah, Carter doesn't know.
Oh, it's a bit late now, Mark. You know, you're just throwing it out of sync. There you go. So,
Classic Mark.
you know, we've got Johnny, the spoiler.
Delayed as always.
Mark, the joke killer. We've just got to find a quality for Jam. This sort of tops into our like related conversation last week about superheroes and stuff. And yeah,
Jam's always late. He's late so low.
Jam's on a special kind of
Not this
time.
time.
Yeah, he's like he is the reverse Flash in the sense
Does he
that
want
he
some
moves
cranberry
slower.
juice with that?
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the Renegade Rock Hours.
I'm
We're
good.
just here to sort of rock out with some great music and sort of I don't know have some banter, I guess, this Friday because you know the topics are.
Do we have banter?
Well, I guess
Is
we.
this a thing?
Well, it's
Do we ever?
kind of supposed to be. Mark, we didn't ask you how your
Whoops.
week went in the last section. Look, Jam's smashing his room up already. You know, Mark.
Because we don't care.
Well, well, there is a little bit.
Well, at least
of,
I'm on time all the time.
Oh, here we go with the catty comments. Isn't it?
9 p.m.
It's going to be coming like
Meow.
Jerry Springer, isn't it? You know, I mean, there is a couple more things that we could do to get ourselves in the Jerry Springer mode, but I don't think we quite want to go there just yet. You know, so yeah, Mark.
I think we should invite Carter in.
Week, how's it been? Yeah, week, how's it been?
Can you stop using names,
It's been good,
please?
to be fair.
It's been good, right? Okay, so yeah. So what have you been up to this week?
Apart from
Driving.
crashing cars.
So you've been driving, yeah. A bit of bad news today. Unfortunately, you didn't get over your lessons and that. But when do you take your next one? Have you got your next test booked out?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Now the
Oh, dear.
rumor is that it was you that was driving the car around Sandringham today, isn't it? Come on, Matt, you can tell us the truth. We know all about the government cover-ups
Well,
of that, but
They saw me rolling, and obviously Philip wanted a bit.
I know it's like Phil was like,
My brother
Mark,
Philip.
I'm a bit drunk, you drive, and then it happened and you had to bail and you was like, Phil, you need the keys, man, I can't take the flak for this because that's it, and you run off into Sandringham Woods. This is the laydown that I've got from, like, this is, you know, don't worry about what BBC News is telling you. This is all
We
about
have our sources.
Smile Radio, fake news extraordinaire here right now, like, you know, Mark, military Mark. He was like in
Let's
the
get
underground.
right into the news.
Is it also true that you was wearing your camo gear when it happened as well? So when everybody come rushing towards it, that's how come they didn't
no
see
one
you
saw
because you was
you.
all sort of blended in with the underbrush of Sandringham.
I don't think Philip
Yes.
would like me to chat about this, you know. Quite a serious experience, but yeah, I was.
Yeah, there we go. Look, there he is. He's secretly coughing it up. Look, you know, we're gonna squeeze them conspiracy theories out of military Mark over the next few weeks. Don't you worry. We'll find out where Area 53 is and Area 52, Area 51. We already know where that is anyway. But yeah.
If you find
Area
it,
54.
please tell me.
Well, you know, send a stamp addressed envelope, Area 53, ... PO Box, isn't it? You know. Anyway, we're going to have some more music coming up now, because we've got quite a bit of music to get through tonight as well, lads, because it's Friday night, you know, we've got to get you ready to party. Next up on the list is one of the Unsigned bands, because we've got quite a bit of Unsigned music thrown into the mix this evening. It's this morning somewhere in the world, right? I'm just...
Nice one.
You can tell I'm tired, you know, it's close to midnight for me.
Gizzles.
Anyway, this is 5 a.m. And again, I've got to give you the adult warning. This song may contain some explicit language. It's called Wrong, which is wrong for those of you that just speak regular.
Human being.
so wrong, yeah. You fucked up and you fell in love, yeah. You traded the dream for the drug, yeah. Oh yeah, my mind's been slipping in and out. I know this gon' last, and I know what I'm gon' say. That body is on fire, and I've been here before. No what's beyond that door, thing that I know don't tell. It don't feel right, unless it feels a little bit wrong. Skyfever, you've been waiting too long for me. No miscommunication, what I'm saying so wrong. I fucked up and I fell in love. I traded my dream for the drug, yeah. It don't feel right, unless it feels a little bit wrong. Oh, blowing my phone, you say you're alone, your man isn't home. Didn't know you would do it like that. Just give me the night and I'ma bounce right back. Like, oh no, blowing my phone, you say you're alone, your man isn't home. Should've known you would do it like that. It don't feel right, unless it feels a little bit wrong.
That one there was Wrong or Wrong by 5am. And yeah, the background banter behind the scenes of the song was generally positive there. Johnny was like, can we do a feature on them? So, you know, 5am if you're listening, or to this back on the podcast, because I'm sure you're quite busy on a Friday night. But yeah, if you're listening, get in contact with me. And it's really easy to do, because we do have featured artists here at Smile Radio now. Ritchie.Johnston@smileradio.co. If you check out our Facebook, which is facebook.com/Smile Radio Yorkshire, you'll be able to see how to get in contact with me on there. But yeah, be a featured
Don't forget
artist.
to check out the Game Boys page as well.
Oh yeah, what is the Game Boys page? At the Game Boys of Smile, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so check that one out. It does get updated from time to time, I do believe.
I've been updating it lately.
I did see. I've actually seen you've been kind of doing it. Yeah, you've kind of been getting back on that tip, which is good. And then we've got Jam, who is the voice of the Game Boys, because he just turns up in between sometimes. You know, sometimes maybe good,
Maybe.
Yes.
sometimes maybe absent. You know, that's how we got to label Jam, isn't it? You know, but yeah, welcome back to the Renegade Rock Hours. This is our Friday night jam session here at Smile Radio. No, like, it's just a coincidence we have somebody called Jam in the group, as well as it being a jam session, I guess. You know, I don't know. What do you think, Jam?
Sure.
Yeah, it's all about jam, isn't it? You know,
Strange coincidence.
yeah, strange coincidence. Now, let's talk about stuff that we've
He
watched
wishes
this
we
week.
cared enough about him to name it after him.
Well, that's it. You know, you guys been checking out
Name
anything
something else after me.
good on the box this week in between arguments?
Just arguments, really.
Just
Been
arguments.
one of those
It's just
weeks.
been one of
I
those
think
weeks,
we've all
isn't
been
it?
on our men period.
Oh, well, you know, I'll talk about TV, because from time to time I do sort of like to get into the TV a little bit. I've been watching, one to watch out for is 60 Days in the Jail. I sort of talked about this a little bit the other week, but I'm going to be watching that this evening after I finish the show with Danny. Every week we're kind of hooked, so the premise behind this, because we can extend this conversation out a little bit tonight, and we can talk scenarios. You know, as we're sort of like working an unscripted topic here, we'll build our own little scenarios here. So. In the League of Dungeons and Dragons type thing, I'll tell you about the premise of 60 Days In, and then I'll throw a few scenarios out throughout the evening. And yeah, we'll see how you guys get on. And if you survive your 60 Days In, that can be the challenge this Friday night here. So yeah, the premise of 60 Days In is that a regular run-of-the-mill people, some of them have got experience within law enforcement, military, prison system, everything like that. They're just run-of-the-mill people with no criminal records. They're put inside for 60 days, but it's American. It's the American prison system, so they're put in. I think it's county jail at this point, which is where you have to go before you see before court. It's not no county, not country, boy.
Country.
There we go. There's our quote of the week: county, not country, boy. Brought to you by Renegade Rock Hours. But yes, they go into the jail for 60 days. And over the course of the 60 days, they've got cameras in place all over the prison and that. And we're rocking on to like 5 seasons now. So the first season of that was pretty cool because nobody really knew what was going on. Everybody kind of got on with their jobs. I was going to say jugs, but jobs. I don't know where I got the idea of jugs from, but yeah, jobs. They were getting on with that. But yeah, it's pretty tense at times though, because it's like... This time round, they go into prison just on the border of Mexico. So there's a strong, like, Latino gang presence in this prison, as well as that, there's a strong white supremacist connection in this prison, and then on top of that, you've got the other section of the prison, which is like the black guys and stuff, and they don't like the whites, and it's a very tense little system, and they have to keep them all sort of separated out. So. White supremacists on one floor, black gang members on the X floor, and then you got the Latin Kings on another floor. And they kind of dip them in and out a little bit with like different people in each pods and that. But you can primarily tell what's going on, right? So this season, like in the recap, they're sort of showing you the stuff that happens in the prison. So in this prison, there are guards, like, they get shanked up. This prison is notorious for guards getting done over. Like, they showed video of a guard getting shanked, and they showed all his stab wounds on the photos and that. He had like something like 27 stab wounds from prisoners and that, right? And they've put 8 regular people in this prison, and they've all got missions as well. So one of them's got to infiltrate and find out where the drugs are coming from. One of them's got to infiltrate and find out what the gang activity is all about. And they're paired up, so there's like a male side and a female side, because it's a male-female prison, but it's segregated and that. So one of the contestants that's gone in is
So there'll be no babies, right?
Well, no, they don't intermingle. There's no intermingling ever happening in prison like that. But in this prison... where do I start with this? Yeah, so one of the contestants in this, she's a far-right Trump supporting, quite well-to-do woman, and yeah, she's in there. So the first day they all turn up. They've got to go in for some training for the first couple of weeks and that. So they've got to understand how it's going to work, how they've got to be, because they're all getting cover identities, they're all getting cover stories, and the one important thing is that I have learned in 5 seasons of this show is that you have to stick to that cover story, because, you know, people ask a lot of questions. I mean, I thought that a 3-year-old was bad, but they walk in the doors of these prisons and straight away it's like, yo, what are you in for? Oh yeah, what you do that for then? Okay, so why? And it goes on, and they're just picking at the story every way they can. Yeah, and all of that. Yeah, so that's all thrown in there. So yeah, so she's turned up on the first day of training. She's in makeup, in a blue dress, dressed up to the nines, high heels, glammed up makeup, and the guards were just like, so what's the deal behind this outfit? Because, you know, you're kind of not going to fit. And she was, oh yeah, well, don't worry, this is just for the cameras, obviously, because, you know, we're filming a documentary. They're like, yeah, this is quite serious. It's not just for the cameras. We need you to get down into sweatpants, take that makeup off, and, you know, take it a bit more serious and stuff. And she's proper glossing up to the camera. So anyway, in the previews of the show, there's one more contestant as well, and he's a private detective, but nobody else knows that this private detective is in there, because he's like, I don't want anybody to know who I am, because they're going to blow my cover, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Anyway, throughout this series, in the preview, somebody is going to blow the cover of the majority of them. Somebody is going to be there to leak the cover of, like, pretty much everybody that's in there. Yeah, there's a snake. So in 5 seasons, because you got to think now, 5 seasons, 5 years, They've been to a couple of different prisons and that, but people in these prisons are like, yeah, there's this thing called 60 Days In, and they set up cameras just like this. So the prisoners inside this prison are getting pretty wise to the fact that this documentary crew are going in and putting, like, dummy prisoners in there. Now, prisoners don't obviously like the fact that dummy prisoners are going in there, because dummy prisoners kind of are working for the system that they hate so much. You know what I mean? It's one of those. So, yeah. First question of the evening, lads. Would you be a contestant on a show like this?
Yeah, man. I'd fit right in.
Now, there is no cash prize for doing it. You basically just volunteer. You're just volunteering to do it.
Doing it.
It's basically to help improve the legal system in America. That's the whole point of it. But there's a documentary crew now. Now, I'd imagine that you get. They're going to cover your expenses, I'd imagine, a little bit, and give you a little something on the top of it, because you got to think you're spending 2 months in prison, so you got to take 2 months off of work. So you'll be compensated for it. You know, you get a nice hotel room the night before you go in, you get a nice hotel room the night after you go in, and then you get like 3 square meals a day for like 60 days anyway. You know, you get to share a dining experience with lots of different cultures and themes and stuff, you know. So, you know, you get quite a lot of an experience out of this documentary to start with, you know. But yeah, so yeah, would you do it? Would you think, like, you know, without cash on the table, is it something you'd do just to be like, okay, the prison system needs to be reformed, I'd do this?
I'd probably get shanked.
I'm not going to lie to you, Jam.
You would.
I think you would get shanked,
stick to your cover story for like a second.
Mark, you're
I'd forget it.
awfully quiet there in the corner. Is this something? Would you do this?
Right.
Would you be the one that does this?
I would.
Okay, so Mark would do it. Mark's got a bit of integrity here. He's like, would you do this? And do you think you'd be able to handle sticking to your cover story for these 60 days, and you know, handle like what goes on in the prison? Because in the next segment I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going to happen in the prison while you're in there. So, you know, so far,
Well,
Jam's like, I'm going to get shanked, so I'm out. You're like,
not
I'll do
too
it.
bad at dealing with
Well,
stuff.
I wasn't really out. I was out before I even got in because I would have died.
Would you got shanked before you entered the prison? Is it the guard that would have shanked you on the way into prison, do you reckon?
I reckon
Yeah,
so,
'cause-
Probably.
I
Jam's
don't
a
even
bit
think
too
it's the
drunk.
guard. I think it would be the documentary crew, because Jam would just say something Jam like, and the documentary crew would just, it'd just be on camera. They'd lynch him, and they'd be like, you know what, we'll do 60 days and easy because we murdered him. We'll do it. We'll take us with you. But yeah, so Mark, so you're gonna get you're willing to be our participant tonight. Okay, so I've got a few scenarios I'm gonna throw out there. Now,
Yep.
okay, say there's a $20,000 prize on the table right now, then, boys, because you said you wouldn't
I'm
do
in.
it out of the goodness of your heart. There's a $20,000 prize if you stick it in this prison. Okay, so who
All
else
right,
is
I'm
in?
in.
You're both in now. So right,
Yeah,
I've
I'm
both got you in for this. All right. So coming up, drugs and other physical forms of violence in this metaphorical prison because of this documentary I've been watching. But we're gonna have some more music right now. We're gonna have some Me Detroit from the album or the EP Life in the Now. This song is called Demo.
Never thought this to be true. As they took their eyes off you, with the way we misbehave, yeah. Oh, the way we misbehave, yeah. Fill me with this pain, hear the voices in your head, Timo, Timo. In the morning misty haze, stepping out to face the day. Forget what you've been told. Oh, take a breath now, let's be bold. Fill me with this pain, hear the voices in your head.
Demo by Mimi Detroit. Welcome back. It's the Renegade Rock Hours here on Smile Radio till about 10:30 or so. You know, we're talking this evening. We've got some banter. We're talking about 60 Days In. It's a documentary series. It does air over here on the UK. I think it aired on the ID Discovery Channel or one of those ones once in a blue moon. So we've managed to talk the boys into going into prison. And two of them are going to do it for 20 grand. And Mark was like, I'll do it because I'm a good person. But you know what? We'll throw 20 grand in there for Mark as well. So, you know, if you get through to the end of this, you will get 20 grand.
Nah, he's willing to do it for free. Don't waste your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you're all scared little girls.
Yeah, but we've got TV money, so this is like metaphysical money. It's not real money. So it's like...
metaphorical.
Yeah, it's like Disney bucks, basically. It's not really worth anything. It's just nice to have and look at once in a while. It's one of those...
Well, in that case, then, I'm out.
Yeah, but that's the twist in the story. You're not supposed to know that to the end anyway. So, you know, yeah, but no. Anyway, so you're all... so, to do this, you're gonna get 20,000... we'll say £20,000 because we're over here in the UK. But it's an American-style prison. You've got to go in now for 60 days, undercover. Now... This is the first part of the prison. This is the first part. So you all know each other anyway. So I'll allow that for this scenario. A little bit like Dungeons and Dragons this tonight. So you all know each other and you all know that you're all going to go into this prison. So in a way you can kind of work together. Now, here's scenario one. You've just entered the prison. Now, you're entering the prison not like you'd walk in and say, yo, I'm here to hand myself in. You are shackled up and chained to a wall for about 2 or 3 hours.
I don't want to be shackled to Jam. I'm stating this now.
Well, guess what, Johnny? That's the first bit. You're shackled next to Jam, and Mark, there's no room.
Hello.
So Mark's have to shackled in between you. So every now and then his legs are going numb, so he's got to sit on either of his lap. So that's now from this.
As long as we've got clothes on, that's fine.
Can we shank him? Should we shank him?
Well, from this, in this waiting room that you're in, they also have the solitary cells where the absolute worst of the worst will go, like the ones they cannot simply control, and they're all sort of staring you out. They're banging on the glass. Some of them are already picking you out. Now, like in the first show of this new series of 60 Days In, this woman went into prison, and within seconds of her walking into the cell block, she was getting wolf whistled at by the girls, and each of the girls was saying which one was going to make her hers. That's how bad it was. So you're all shackled together for a couple of hours on this wall. It's a bit uncomfortable because there's a few of you in there. All the crazy, super crazy hypermax prisoners are banging on the walls looking at you. One of them's already spotted Jam, one of them spotted you, Johnny, one of them spotted you, Mark, and they've all got their eye on you. But it could be cool. You might not end up in the pod with them, but we'll see how it goes. Now, the first thing you got to do while they've processed your paperwork is, one by one, you're taken into a room where they're going to strip you down, you're going to have a shower, and you're going to lift your sack, you're going to spread your cheeks, and they're going to check you over for drugs. So they're just checking you over to bring you anything in. So far, you know, it's a little bit invasive, I think.
Going well.
Yeah, so you guys are still okay at this point? You're feeling okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you give
Probably shouted at one or two of the fucking...
There he goes with the F-bomb. There it is, Johnny's F-bomb. 35 minutes into the show.
35 minutes
and he's
Jonathan
back.
Edwards, congratulations.
I only noticed that he ever drops the F-bomb when Jam is in the show. You know, I think it's the excitement of you, Jam, being in the show, mate, that brings it out of Johnny, and he just gets like Jam Tourette's or something, you know. But anyway, so they've given you your bedding, which is like, you remember the old gym mats at school that were super thin, so when you'd fall on them it would really hurt anyway. It was just like, there's no point, I might as well have fallen on the ground. Well, that's like your mattress, and you're given like an undersheet which has been like barely washed. I heard him say something about there was a backlog on the washing, so they've had to use a few dirty sheets. So they've given you these sheets, and you've got to go into your pod. Now, Mark, you're in a pod on your own because you said you was going to brave it. So in your pod, you've got
chilling.
You've got white supremacists and the Latin Kings. That's in your pod. So instantly,
Sweet.
The first thing is you're approached and they ask you what side you're on. What side are you going to pick?
Myself.
I don't think that would be the right answer, Mark. You see, there's the first rule in this show.
Well,
is
I'm
that,
an individual, a human being, and my own person.
Well,
no one's choosing that for me.
Here's the thing. So you've gone for the I want to be just left alone and that. That's cool. I mean, you know what? I applaud you, Mark, because you know you're going for the thing. But you know, for the sake of it, the white supremacists don't like that answer. To them, that's like the worst of the worst answer that you could give right now, because you're just saying, well, you know, they're all right in that. You're allowing for that to be okay, that they've got another gang that isn't of the white race in that pod. So that is going to lead to something inevitable. So already you're in your pod, you're getting your bed made, and in the background already, the lads are sort of talking, and they're talking about, you know, what they're like, what's this guy all about? They're not very happy. Anyway, we're going to cut over to Jam and Johnny, because, like, you know, these guys are in it for the money. We'll put them together because it's like Scooby and Shaggy right now. So in your pod, in your pod, you've got you've got the Bloods and the Crips, and, you know, for the argument's sake, I can't really, because the Bloods and the Crips in the prison system in the US for this are primarily black people, but you guys obviously are not black people, but for the sake of the argument, you are for this scenario. So they've walked in, and now they've asked you, yo, what side are you on? Johnny, what's your side?
Prepped. Just because it's got a cool sounding name.
Okay, and then Jam, what would you go for?
Bloods.
Oh, so already
an option.
there's a little bit
already a rivalry.
There's a little bit of a rivalry there. Okay, so at the moment things are quite calm in your pod because, you know, you've gone off and you've done your separate things. You've accepted it. You've picked a side, and there's a line there already. Now there's a bit of a fragile alliance in that pod at the moment because, you know, they're keeping it peaceful and stuff. So you guys are going okay. Now in Mark's pod, it's still tense because, like, the white supremacists really don't like the fact that he's just said, I'm my own individual person. Mark, please. Anyway, right, we're gonna come back to this after another song. This is one from my favourites from Norwich, The Thinking Men, and this is Machine Made Men right here from the EP Memento Mori. This is the Renegade Rock Hours on Smile Radio, talking about 60 Days In.
You'll see through. I am alone, but I'm not lonely. I'd rather be alone than you owe me. I don't need you, but you need me. I'll bite the hand that does not feed me. I'll see the lies that lie within you, the lies that will return to destroy you.
Fire at Will by Deever. Welcome back. It's the Renegade Rock Hours here on Smile Radio, as it is every Friday night from 9 p.m. with myself and Jonathan Edwards, and tonight we're joined by James Herrington and Military Mark. How are we doing, fellas?
Yo.
Playing a bit of Xbox this evening while I man the console like the pilot of the Starship Enterprise. Speaking of which, I am looking forward to watching Star Trek Discovery.
Wait, no, Sulu.
I don't know. I kind of want to be Scotty. I'm kind of got Scottish in me. I haven't got any Korean or Chinese. I don't, without sounding racist, I don't actually know what Sulu is because I don't judge people by that, But yeah, whatever Sulu is, that's not me. I'm more Scottish. I've got Scottish in me, man. Johnston. I'm from the clan Scott. I'm from the original. I'm OG Johnston from the original clan Johnston. We got a kilt colour and everything apparently. And a crest of arms, which is a phoenix, and a family motto. Like James Bond, man, but I ain't got no money. That's my secret.
Something like "Don't drop the soap."
You're like the most English person I know.
So here we go. We're dropping it back into. There we go. Johnny sort of made the lead way into what we was talking about tonight by saying "Don't drop the soap." This evening we're talking about 60 days in. The guys have all agreed, like 2 of them for 20 grand, 1 of them for free, to go into prison for 60 days. This is a US prison. Jab's already getting his convict persona on. Look, he's already started to get it on. That he's just there like cussing people out. But yeah,
you can tell he's going to be the first one to get shanked.
I know. Here we go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go. We're moving it forward a little bit. It's a week now. Now, when you had your training, the guards told you that the first thing you got to do is if you was asked to pick a side, you should pick a side as to what your ethnicity is for the sake of yourself, because at least then you've kind of got a group that's going to look after you, and it will help you get the information that you need. Now, this is I'm going to play this out to you as the show plays out to me, so you get this information after they've gone in and they've started to introduce themselves. So yeah, Mark's got in, and he's kind of been. They've asked him what side he's on, and Mark is like, "I'm an individual, yo." And walked off and left it at that, and the guys aren't happy about that. So there's been a bit. We're in week 2 now, and there's been a bit of contention in week 1 about what Mark's status is. I mean, they've seen the security cameras there, and like Mark's just been keeping his head down for a week. It's been a busy week for you, Mark. Because you've been trying to infiltrate the. You've got to try and infiltrate your mission, which is to find out where the drugs are coming from. Now, you're off to a bit of a rocky start. You've shunned your group. Now, what would you do to try and get back into the group in that week?
Well, a bit of trading helps. So, everyone loves a good chocolate bar when you're locked away.
You're going to trade. So you're going to go down the commissary route of trade. Right, okay. So do you know how the trading system kind of works in with that? There is a trading system. There is a very efficient trading system.
Well, basically, I need information. They want food. It's a perfect match.
So how would you go about it? How would you get this information? Yeah. Jam, we're going to come back to you in a minute, buddy, because I see where you're
Yeah, if someone wants a peanut butter sandwich, I'll give them the peanut butter. They supply the bread. But for that peanut butter, they need to give me the information I need.
Yeah, I bet they're going to get some tossed salad as well, I guess.
Nice old bread, aren't they?
It's al dente.
But give them the left too.
So how would you approach it?
Right
but
and left.
how would you get the information? Because cover is key. And it's prison. You're going to ask too many.
Very nicely, obviously.
Yeah, but you start asking too many questions.
No, Jam, you don't know. Right, first rule about prison: you don't just ask nicely. You walk up to them and go,
"You don't ask
you
them
got
if
any?
they want some food."
So that's how you've approached it. It's like, yeah, you got any? So that's your whole approach to the situation. Is you got any? Is that how you're going to ask for it?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. You are going to get stabbed.
It is not going well for you so far, buddy, because you're not selling it to me, man. You got to put some feeling into it. You got to give it. You've got to.
You've literally just
part.
told me you don't want to be part of my gang.
Yeah, but you're
so
asking.
Why would I want you?
For
tell me.
This is. He's asking about drugs. He's trying to find out about
exactly.
drugs.
Why would I want you to supply me?
Yeah, but But in the pod, okay, we'll make it interesting. The pod isn't just the supremacists and the gangs. We've got drug addicts and thieves and everything else in between. There's a few different groups in there, so Mark could have got talking to one of these groups in the time. It's a little bit edgy, but his first question being he's not put the real feeling into it. Like, I've seen it. I'm hurting, man. I can't do this. Do you know where I can get something? And it's a little bit frosty to start with, but they managed to break it by putting that bit of extra soul in it. But Mark walking up like a 15-year-old in a bar to the guy that smells of obviously honking green. Yeah, you got any, mate?
Right. I'll be honest. You're in there.
Okay.
They're going to ask what you're in there for. You have your story.
Yeah.
Obviously, your story's going to be like making you out to be a hardcore nutcase.
Not necessarily,
Not
because
always.
some of the stories could be simple stuff like they've been
Could be
pulled
just, like,
over
easy
for
as that.
DUI, or they're being pulled over because there's an existing warrant out for them in another county. Just stuff like that. It could be simple. It's not just violence or gang attacks or anything like that. It's
But
just,
even still, you need something to get by.
well, okay, that's a good approach.
Yeah,
You
you don't
need
just
something
go
to
up to
get
someone and
by.
be like, "Oh, I got a speeding ticket, so now I'm in prison."
Okay, so, alright, so you break in the inner circle, so we'll go with this, right, so you want to break the inner circle a little bit. So the first thing is you got Doris. Doris is a dude who's a shoplifter, dudes can be called Doris as well. Now, Doris has come into your cell, he's like, "Yo, man, what are you all about? So, what happened to you? What's your story?" Let's hear Mark's story.
Well, let's see. Walking down the street, innocent as can be. I was searched for drugs. I gave the guy the old 1-2.
What's
And then he
the
got on
cell
the radio.
1-2? Don't forget, this is an international audience
It's the left
here as
and
well.
right.
Oh, you hit him, you
So,
actually hit the
give
guard,
him the
yeah.
left and yeah.
Yeah.
But then, he got on the radio. And then before I know, 7 little piglets come around the corner. And boom.
Wow.
Prison.
Not gonna lie, that's not a very scary story.
Yeah, to be fair.
Piglets.
Okay, so Doris has got a few
Are you
questions
telling
about
like a child
this.
story or something?
Yeah, Doris has got a few questions about this, but we'll come back to Doris and Mark in their cell in a bit, because this is leading down an interesting road, I think. So we're going to go over to Bloods and Crips Town at the moment. It's been a week. The guys have sort of initiated themselves now, because they've automatically picked their sides and they've been hanging close to their sides. They know where the boundaries are. Johnny's been getting by. Jam's kind of been getting by. But however, somebody has stolen something from another blood cell, and they think it's the Crips, and they think that they know which Crip it is, and they've argued about it, and they're like, "Yo, you want to get it? You're gonna have to meet me under the bleachers," and it's gonna lead to a fight. Now, this fight is a way out of the cameras, out of the eye, and they want you to be the lookout guy, both of you, because just in case anything gets real, you guys are gonna be backup basically for these guys. Go over to Johnny first. How are you about this? How are you feeling about this?
I'm gonna watch out for them.
So you're gonna fully go
Yeah,
for
but
it.
you're only in it for the money, so you're just a chicken because you have to be bribed.
It's not a case of being chicken. It's just a case of having the want to do it.
What's in it for me?
Well, he's just looking out for self-interest, isn't it? But yeah, so you're gonna be.
Yeah, but he's only looking out for himself.
You're gonna be the lookout in this situation. Okay, cool. So you're looking out. Jam, what's your response to it? Like, "Yo, man, you gonna be my lookout boy or what? Can you do this for me, brother? Because how are you gonna be?"
Yeah, boss, you got to keep their trust,
So you're going to be also lookout as well. Right, so this fight has actually escalated.
I ain't letting them take anything.
And it's escalated to the point where the guards have come in, and you both have been put in solitary confinement for 10 days. Because you was the lookout, and because you was lookout, you've had to act the part. So when the guards laid off, you had to delay them, and as a result, you've delayed the fight, and you've been accessory to that fight. You've got yourself 10 days in solitary confinement on your own. Both of you. So you're both out of the pod for 10 days now, so you're not going to be able to get any intel or anything like that, because now you've been put in solitary confinement. Meanwhile, Mark and Doris... Doris is picking bits out of Mark's story, and Mark's kind of holding his own. He keeps just reiterating the same bits, because, he's been doing that so far this evening. He's been reiterating himself, which is good. That shows that he's, holding to the story a little bit. And he's got Doris's trust, and he's asked Doris if he can get anything. Now, Doris's reply is, "Yeah, cool. Come to my cell at midnight. We're having a whippet party." And, yeah, so... You've been invited to the whippet party. Are you going to go to the whippet party?
Of course, I've been invited.
Okay.
Their brother's going to want me there, so got my trust.
Do you want me to tell you a bit about what... Do you guys know what whippet is?
Nope.
No. Right, okay, so...
No, but I think I could imagine from the name.
The whippet is a combination of... It's just general stuff that they get, so they get prescribed medicine, so it's the prescribed medicines that you've been given, so it could be antipsychotics, antidepressants, sleeping tablets. They mix that all up with some sweets and cake mix and stuff like that for commissary, and it turns into this gooey substance, and they dab it and they dab it and stuff. And yeah, so Mark, you've been invited to the whippet party later on, so you're going to attend to that whippet party. Okay, so cool. Meanwhile, Jam and Johnny are sat in solitary confinement. No sound, no walls, no noise, no light. So sorry guys, we'll catch up with you in 10 days. Up next
No
on the
bother.
list, we've got Pink and
problem.
Leopard. This is Indya. We'll come back to the boys in prison 60 days in after this one.
I was walking to the church in my leather shoes and coat. They said, how you doing, girl? I said, not good. Oh, I'm just a little bit broke. Why don't you stay behind today? Let me sell your clothes out at the back of the van. Glam is what they're looking for. A bit of pink and gold. How about that? How about that? Come on, how about getting in the backyard? Sitting on the ramp right behind the church now. I got a power pack, get in the backyard. You know I can now help you say it better. Pink and leopard is my color. Pink and leopard don't suit my brother. Pink and leopard is my color. Need a biscuit on my mother. Pink and leopard is my color. Pink and leopard don't suit my brother. Pink and leopard is my color. Need a biscuit on my mother. I was praying on my knees at the back of the church when we were singing the hymns. I was hoping I'd not be seen when I was a bad girl and counting my sins. He was the only one who took the time to figure me out. And I just another one of those girls with a terrible heart. How about getting in the backyard, sitting on the ramp right behind the church now. I got a power pack, get in the backyard. You know I can now help you say it better. Pink and leopard is my color. Pink and leopard don't suit my brother. Pink and leopard is my color. Need a biscuit on my mother. Pink and leopard is my color. Pink and leopard don't suit my brother. Pink and leopard is my color. Need a biscuit on my mother. Pink and leopard is my color. Pink and leopard don't suit my brother. Pink and leopard is my color. Need a biscuit on my mother. Pink and leopard is my color. Pink and leopard don't suit my brother. Pink and leopard is my color. Need a biscuit on my mother.
Pink and Leopard by Indya. That was a great little track, that. You're listening to the Renegade Rock Hours. It's Smile Radio. We're talking about 60 days in. And we're going to come back to that very, very shortly. But first of all, we've got to go to a word from some of our sponsors.
College Grove Nursery in Wakefield has been providing the highest standard of childcare for over 22 years. Situated on Eastmore Road, we are close to the M1 and M62 motorway network and also convenient for Wakefield city centre, schools and major places of employment. For more details, check out our website at www.collegegrovenursery.co.uk or give us a call on 01924 200 120 to arrange a visit. College Grove, a special nursery which takes a hand, opens a mind and touches a heart.
Smile Radio.
Yes, welcome back. It is the Renegade Rock Hours this Friday night on Smile Radio. We're talking 60 days in. I'm bringing the guys back in now. Evening, fellas.
Hola.
Hello.
Right, so yeah, 60 days
Good
in.
evening.
We're back with Jam, Johnny, and Military Mark. Each of them have gone into prison. They've been in now 20 days. Now, in the first 10 days, Jam and Johnny have got themselves sent to solitary confinement. Mainly because if you've missed the show, obviously catch it up on demand, but I'll give you a recap now. So, yeah, basically they've been put in solitary demand because they was asked by the respective gangs that they've joined with to be lookout, and they've agreed to do that, and they've taken a bit of flack for it, and it's resulted in them ended up in solitary confinement for 10 days. Now, Mark, on the meantime, he got invited to a Whippet party, which we told you what Whippet was. Messed up as it sounds. So, Mark, you go to the Whippet party, so we're going to catch up with Jam and Johnny very shortly, but we're going to go to Mark because he's in the present time at the moment, before we have a little bit of a time skip. Now, because you've been invited to the Whippet party, you've gone in there, and they've mixed up this pink, gloopy, nasty, horrible-looking stuff, and they're like, yo, bud, have some of this. Are you going to take it?
Yep.
He didn't even hesitate. He did not even hesitate. Did you notice that? He was just straight up, yeah, I'll take that. Go on, give me some. Now, you know, you're treading into dangerous territory here because you're taking something that you don't actually know what is in there, because some of the drugs that they put in there could be very, like, volatile. They could have reactions with you, but they're asking you to sort of trust them and take it, and you do it just to keep the cover. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, all right, Mark's done it. It's a very dark moment. It's where the ominous tone comes in, the and then we'll go to a next time on 60 Days In. The Game Boys are barely surviving in jail. Jam and Johnny, they've just been released out of solitary confinement after the 10-day stretch. They walk back into the cell, arms raised. They've got some restepa from their brethren because, you know, they took the fall, they took it on the chin, and they haven't said nothing. They've been in solitary confinement for 10 days, and they're welcome back to their cells with open arms. Anyway, it's Jam's in his cell, and he's got a new cellmate, and yeah, his new cellmate's a bit weird. But while Jam's getting changed, he notices a tattoo on Jam. Now, Jam, you've gone with the Bloods, haven't you?
Correct.
Yeah, so this tattoo is a blacked out Crips tattoo. How do you respond to the question?
Well...
Yo, what is that, man? You're on the timer, Jam. It's a tense moment because it's the enemy's tattoo, and it's just been spotted on you, bud. So, you know, come on, where'd you get that tattoo from? What's that all about?
And not to mention that the guards found the fight.
Yeah, the guards have found the fight. Look at Johnny, that he's straight in there, that he's like rubbing it in. So yeah, the guards found out about the fight, and you've got a Crips tattoo.
How do they know it's there if it's blacked out?
Because, you know, you can tell by the shape, it's a particular marking that the Crips have got, and you've got it right there. Like, in your shady past, before you was on the show, you used to be a member of the Crips for 10 years. You used to be Jam, the Destroyer, notorious hitman for the Crips. And, yeah, you gave that life up to live a good life as a family man. And now, like, you're on a road to redemption and stuff. But, yeah, you've just been spotted with a Crips tattoo in a cell with a load of Bloods. So, yeah, how are you responding to this right now, bud?
Simple as, man. You know?
Which
yeah, used to be one.
Okay, so...
But I know all their secrets.
Meanwhile, in Johnny's cell, he's just heard the sounds of Jam getting shanked. Now, at this point, if you've got an emergency...
Why does this keep happening to
You've
me?
just been given an emergency... you've been given an emergency signal, so if you feel like you're in distress, you've got to put your hands over your shoulders and put them up above your head and pace around a little bit. Are you in that mode yet? Do you feel like you're ready to leave yet?
No.
Jam's screaming out as well. Jam's like in proper stabbed up mode. And he's like... It's not a Jam, like, at this point, do you feel like it'd be the point, because you're getting stabbed up, that you'd give it away, that you're on a TV show? Would you give that away?
Nah.
Right, let's take a bet on this, lads. Do we believe that Jam would give it away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally give it away.
Okay, so Johnny, are you going into alert mode yet? Because, yeah, your fellow brethren is now being stabbed up. You're just playing it cool in the hopes. You're hoping he's going to keep you covered, even though he's like, they're like, who else is in this with you? And they want names and stuff, and they're torturing him in this cell, and it's like, it's a good 10 minutes before the guards are going to get to you, bud. You know, so, I mean, that's a lot of beating that you're going to get there, bud.
Yep.
Johnny's just like, I'll leave him to it. Right, so... Okay, so they've got to
It'd be a
Jam.
massive shame if your name was to just blurt out.
There we go. So they've got to Jam just in the nick of time, and he's sort of being wheeled out of the cell. But now we know that Jam's out of the competition. So now not only is he like 27 stab wounds in, he's also 20 grand down because he didn't make it to the end of the 60 days. Sorry, Jam. You can be a commentator on the rest of the season now. That's cool. When you come back from hospital with your stitches and your thumbs up, you can be commentator for the rest of the season. Now, Mark, over in your cell.
Yep.
In the meantime, Doris is like, okay, you like the Whippets. What do you think to the Whippets?
Give me more.
So you're already like, give me more. Okay. So nobody's starting to get a bit alarmed here by them. I mean, Johnny, you're not seeing any alarm bells in this that he might be like getting addicted to Whippet already. Nah, he's all good. So yeah. So you keep getting invited to these Whippet parties. Now, they're going to bring out some cocaine at this next party. This stuff's been sort of like brought into the prison, and you're going to take it.
Where can I get it?
Okay, right.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to sniff it straight up.
You're going to have to watch how this cocaine's extracted, because it's extracted through somebody's butthole in a cling film wrap, and then they're expecting you to, go with it. Are you going to
sniff it? Yeah.
Ready to go with it?
Well, I need to stay within the Brethren, and I need to get these secrets, so yeah, I'm going to have to do what it needs.
Oh, mate, you're not in the Brethren. The Brethren have fully disowned you weeks ago, buddy, because, like, you know, the Brethren don't
yeah,
really
but
like that sort
see,
of
the thing
stuff.
is, Doris and me got that
You
bond.
don't reject them and then try to get with them again.
Okay, so at which point, how much information have you found out then from Doris? What's Doris told you?
Well, obviously, someone's bringing it in and shoving it in their ass to get it in. So there's one little bit in the book.
But who is it? Who is the person that's bringing it in?
Well, there's definitely Boris Johnson. I meant Boris, sorry, not Johnson. They're two separate
real
people.
names, please.
Oh, yeah. So it's not going well for Mark now, basically, because he doesn't know where the drugs are still coming in, because we haven't dropped the other name yet. He hasn't asked. He's the guy that we're watching this being taken out of. So
Not yet.
He's still got no info, but he's like 20 days in, hooked in on Whippet, and he's just been offered butt cocaine that he's willing to sniff. Next time, on 60 Days In, Johnny's in a tense spot, and things are about to get hotter. Jam needs a new kidney, and Mark is about to go further down the rabbit hole. Let's find out what happens after the next song on the list, which is Dig Lazarus and Tell Me Why. So, yeah, tell me why, guys. Tell me why after this.
call your own. It goes on and on until the morning comes, because you got no place that you can call your own.
ocean cold and dark. I am the hungry shark, fast and merciless. But the only girl that could talk to him just couldn't swim. Tell me what's worse than this. And the echoes in the halls, they dance along the walls, the memories of your ghost. You were the one that I used to love, and I'm still in love, and I never loved you the most. I've seen better days, so afraid in my youth. I can't breathe, much less believe. You gave me everything you had, every little thing you had, of your love unrehearsed. I've seen your best and worst, and not your worst. You're still the best, but at my best I am the worst. It's a curse, your eyes are lines in pain, black tears don't hide in rain, and I tied you to the tracks. When I turned around, I heard the sound, I hit the ground, I know there's no turning back. I've seen better days, so afraid in my youth. I can't breathe, much less believe the truth. merciless. But the only girl that could talk to him, she couldn't swim. Tell me what's worse than this. What's worse is all the coke, the ice that numbs my throat, if only for the night. My muscles will contract, your bones will crack, it's just a fact, 'cause I am here to win this fight. I can't fucking breathe, much less believe the truth. I pick up a gun, aim for the sun, and shoot. There are days celebrated in my youth. I can't breathe or believe the Your eyes are lined in pain, black tears don't hide in rain, and I tied you to the tracks. When I turned around, I heard that sound.
Lydia by Highly Suspect. Before that was Kings and Skyfever, and we had Dig Lazarus. It's the Renegade Rock Hours here on Small Radio with me, Johnny, and Mark. Now, Jam, Rip, got shanked in our 60 Days In scenario, the darkest ever season of 60 Days In, I've got to say, right here with the Game Boys. So, you know, this is like future movie gold in the making here. So, yeah, Jam, his answer, he went in as a blood, and they found out that he had a former Crip tattoo blacked out on him, and his response was, "Oh yes, I used to be one." And yeah, Rip Jam. Anyway, meanwhile, Johnny left him and just sat chilled in his cell while the man was screaming, didn't give no emergency signals or nothing, just left him to it. And yeah, Jam's now out of the game. Johnny, meanwhile, has sort of made it in with, what did you say his name was? Tyrese, what? Dwayne, that's it. He's made it in with Dwayne. He kind of looks like The Rock, but he's like The Rock's Norfolk-based cousin, yeah, sort of thing. So yeah, he's like, he kind of knows stuff, but he doesn't. He's one of those guys. But yeah, so he's kind of in with him. But Dwayne is the pod leader. He's running the pod, so he kind of runs it for the Crips and stuff. So Johnny's quite safe with Dwayne at the moment. We're going to come back to Dwayne and Johnny very shortly. Dwayne and Johnny. That's a great name for a comedy show. Over to Mark. Now, meanwhile, Mark and Doris have been building up a budding friendship. Now, Doris has invited Mark to a few whippet parties. Now, he's been giving you this whippet, and you've just been taking it, right? And at no point have you said, how much is it? Now, he's like, yeah, so, hey, bud, you know, because I gave you that whippet, there's this thing I want you to do for me, because you kind of owe me now, because I'll give you stuff for free. It's time to call in that favour. Are you good to do that for me?
Yep.
Right, okay, cool. So, you're going to do this favour for me, yeah?
Yep.
Right, I need you to hold on to this, and he gives you a bloody shank and a bag of drugs, and he also gives you a cell phone as well. Are you going to hold on to them?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So Mark's just taking it all, and he's holding on to it. Okay, so you're just like, yeah, man, I'm holding on to that. Now, he's told you, he's about to tell you the biggest secret of all, that Nigella, who's also in the cell block with you guys, is the one that's bringing it in. Now, Nigella's bringing it in, and she's bringing in a big shipment next week. Sorry, he's bringing in a big shipment, because guys could be called Nigella too, you know. He's bringing in a big shipment next week, and they want you to hold on to this stuff for them, because they got no room for that in their cell. So you cool with that? You go hold on to that for them, yeah?
I'm cool with that. I know who's bringing it in, so I play my part. I play the innocence of wanting some.
Cool.
So it's all good.
All right, that's cool. Meanwhile, in Johnny's cell, Tyrese has come up to you, and he's all like, "Yo, bro, Dwayne, sorry, I need a favour. Well, no, this is Dwayne and Tyrese. Dwayne and Tyrese have come into the cell. They're like, yo, you know that guy that got shanked up by the other side? Well, they said that he used to be a Crip, and that he actually said that he's on this TV show, and you're in it with him. What's this all about?
Bullshit.
Johnny!
Oh, God.
So yeah, so you're kind of
You're
going.
not making it easy for us, are you?
Well, this is the real system at the moment. You're getting the questions now because the questions have been sort of given out. I'm not making it easy. I can't make it easy for you because this is what they've kind of got to go
I
through.
just meant you know what I'm like.
Oh yeah, so
I'm gonna swear a lot in this kind of thing.
I know you. So yeah, they sort of asked you. That's your response to it. Okay, so they're like, well, you know, they stabbed him a few times before he gave out the information, but he gave out the information and he said that he knows you, and that you are in this show and you're up for this for 20 grand. What's this all about? What is going on
he'll
here?
say whatever they want him to say, won't he?
Okay, so you're just playing it cool. You go and you're playing it cool and you're keeping your thing, right? Okay. So this has kind of put a bit of tension on you, a little bit. Now over in Mark's cell, because we're going to get back to Johnny very shortly. All of a sudden, the alarm's gone off and the search team have just bust into the cell, right? So they're now doing a search, and the first cell they raid is Mark's cell, and they find the bloody shank, the drugs, and the cell phone. Okay, so they're dragging you away, and you're off to solitary, mate, because you're going to be off
Man's
to charges
kicking
for
and
that.
screaming. I'm not doing this quietly.
Okay, right. So they're dragging you out. What are you going to do in this situation now? Because you've just been caught with all of the stuff in the cell block, you know.
Well, I'm obviously, because it's not mine, but I'm not going to grass them up. I'm going to have to give them the right and the left to keep it going, you know.
Okay, so Mark has now gone from volunteer to career criminal, and is now spending more than 60 days in because he's just actually crossed over the line from trying to get the information to full-on criminal
Being
psychopath. One. Yeah, he's now, instead of solving the problem, he has become the problem. So you see, this stuff actually does happen. So this is how it's kind of happened with the show, that, you know, as it's gone on, people have actually adapted to prison and they've taken on the prison's persona. Now, I've only been putting out some like simulated scenarios with a few twists to them, a little bit of a twisted twist this evening, just to sort of see how it would all play out. But Mark, you've already said that to keep up the pretenses, you would actually hit a guard. Even though you got caught out, you wouldn't snitch up the pod boss. You'd try and keep your integrity about it. But you've done it. You've completely crossed the line. You've gone from like being on the show to actually being, you know, guilty because you're on camera beating up a guard. How would you go about that from there? You know, that's it. Game over.
See, I can't obviously go, yeah, I'm on the show because I'll get shanked. But at the same time, I can't sit there and say, oh, this is not mine, because then I lose the whole information and who's actually bringing it in, and then still get shanked again. So at the same time, in a lose-lose situation.
It's a lose-lose situation because there's many ways that this could have played out. So you could have been all before with the whippet, just like, no, I don't really deal with that sort of stuff, and you could have been cool about it because you went down the right path to start with by going into commissary. But then I threw in the temptation of whippet, and we need you to get involved in this. And in order to get involved in this, you've got to be a part of this, and you've gone along with it. And this again has happened throughout the series, that somebody's actually gone along with it. They're taking whippet, and even in the interview bits in between, they're like, "I really regret doing that. You know, I shouldn't have done that." But you know, but they've had to do it because they think that's how they need to keep up the pretenses and that. But it's just the path that it's led these volunteers to, and it's been an interesting path. So yeah, Mark is now looking at a nice 10 to 15 stretch once his 60 days are in, and no 20 grand. So yeah, Mark's now out of the competition too. So Johnny,
I wasn't in it for the money.
I wasn't in it for the money. I was just in it for the 3 squares a day and a nice round room. You know, that was me. But yeah, Johnny, so far you're in. It's a little bit tense. They're starting to suspect you. At this point, we're about day 30, so you're halfway through. At this point, do you feel like, you know, you've heard rumours on the block that there's a dude that's been just taken out because he's sort of been taking drugs and it's fit Mark's description. Do you feel like maybe it's the time for you to get out of this prison now as the last man standing?
Nah, it's still good.
It's still good. So, Johnny, you'd sit out to the end. You know what, though? We've come to the end of the show, so I think we're going to have to maybe finish this one up next week and have this as a two-parter. Yeah, we'll continue this next Friday. So, it's been the Renegade Rock Hours. We've had a little bit of insanity tonight. We've been talking about, prison, American prison, and this show 60 Days In with our own little twisted warp scenarios on the thing. If you ever nick this idea for Black Mirror, I will be watching, but so tune in again next week. For me, Jonathan Edwards.
Hasta la vista.
There he goes with his trademark line. And Tuggers, Mark, Military Mark, thank you for joining us again this Friday for another Renegade Rock Hours. Right, so we're going to finish the show off today with some Spielbergs, and this one is 5 on it. You have yourselves an awesome weekend. Don't forget, coming up after us is some more Renegade Rock Hours with some Foo Fighters, Prodigy, all the great rock music to rock out to this Friday night. And your Small Radio, rock on.